Did you ever wonder how Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram became a powerhouse of the automotive industry? Through smart business decisions, a wide range of vehicles, and a focus on the driver experience, CDJR Group has managed to become a leader in the automotive industry. But to truly understand CDJR's rise to fame, we have to start from the beginning. First off, let's start with a little bit of history. Right. So, the company writ large was founded by Walter Chrysler in 1925. And they released the Chrysler 6 back in 1924, so a little bit before the company was actually founded. They ended up acquiring Dodge shortly thereafter in 1928. They also created the Plymouth and DeSoto brands in 1928, around about the same time as they acquired Dodge. So, with all that and with all these brands that they had now, they created a bit of a brand hierarchy. Right? So, your Plymouth was going to be your lower priced vehicles. Your Dodge and DeSoto are going to be kind of your midline vehicles. And then Chrysler is your top of the line as far as they were concerned. That was your higher priced vehicles. So it went on through the years, and over time in the 70s, quality began to start to suffer. So in 1978, Lee Iacocca came on, and his job was to turn the company around. So there were a lot of different moves made in around that time. Um, you would see like your K cars come around during that era. A lot of different things were done. That's way too much to summarize here, but he did a lot of things to help turn the company around. 1983, the Caravan slash Voyager was introduced, so Dodge Caravan Plymouth Voyager, and that was really your introduction to the minivan. And they still make a version of that nowadays. Chrysler makes that. 1985, I remember these vehicles. I wasn't very old back then, but I do remember these vehicles. Growing up, you would end up with some of these. Diamond Star Motors. So that was your like Eagle Talons and Mitsubishi Diamantes, and the 3000 GT was part of that, and the Eclipse was part of that. So a lot of those, all-wheel drive turbocharged cars, late 80s, early 90s, that's really where that came from, was that partnership, that Diamond Star Motors partnership. AMC slash Jeep was acquired in 1987, so that's where they rolled Jeep in. In 98, they merged with Daimler to form Daimler Chrysler, which you would have heard of back then. Then they went through the years, went through that downturn in 2008 where most of the auto manufacturers had to get bailed out, stuff like that. So coming out of bankruptcy, they spun off Ram as its own separate company in 2010. In 2014, Fiat purchased Chrysler, giving us FCA. So we went from Daimler Chrysler to FCA. And then in 2021, FCA merged with the PSA group, which is Peugeot, Citroën, DS, Opel, and Vauxhall over in Europe. And now it is called Stellantis. But that hasn't seemed to me that that's really caught on yet, at least over here in the States. But anytime you go to like any of their websites or things, just sign up for technical information and stuff, it's under Stellantis. So I think over time we'll be seeing a lot more of that name. Stellantis. That's the name they created for that combo company with FCA and PSA. So it's called Stellantis as a business entity. Looking for historical automotive videos on Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram? Check out the history of CDJR manufacturers here.